and welcome back. We are here with our 6 p.m. update. You did it, guys. You got us to the next $2,000. So we'll be unlocking that $2,000 bonus from our group of anonymous donors. So thank you, guys. We are currently at $26,584 with 147 individual donors. So thank you. Got some quick thanks to make. We got James Pugh on behalf of Hazel Pugh, Digby, Chewy, and Chief, 3 of my favorite pupperoos, Barbara Larson, the Johnson family, Kevin and Nan Nerad, Nita Chalgren, Max and Kelly Sinclair, Ellen Cabrera, Kathy and Bill Blair, Geralt of Revilla, Carrie Mann, and Dusty the Cat. And Dusty would like to say, meow, it is I, Dusty the Cat. Where's my KFC? I came around in the 80s for the renovations and I'm back again. Here's my money. It's an aggressive cat. Thanks for doing amazing things. Keep up the meowy good work. And if you haven't, Dusty is up in our lovely murals. Thank you, Dusty, and a couple more anonymous donors. So guys, you did it. We are officially 106% of the way to our goal, so thank you. We've got a really exciting guest that I want to get to right away because this is the one that's all the way from Georgia. So we're going to go right into the studio with Alex and our very next special guest.
Thanks, Janine. I'm here with our next special guest, Mark Thomann from Stuart Jackson, who has been very instrumental in this project of designing our new carpet. And so I'm really excited to get to talk to you today. You're coming to us all the way from the southeast, correct?
Absolutely, outside of Atlanta, Georgia.
All right, well, thank you so much for joining us today. First, if you can introduce yourself a little bit and talk about what you do, how long you've been doing this, and I think more importantly, how you even got in the world of historic carpet.
Okay, yeah, it's a lot of fun. Well, let's see now. When I got out of the Marine Corps in 1973, I went into work for textiles. So I've been in the textile industry for about 45 years.
Wow.
It was interesting. I always wanted to teach college, so I wanted to get my doctorate. And in that pursuit to do that, I decided I would get a master's degree in historic preservation and public history, which I did at Georgia State University. At the same time, I was working for a manufacturer that was a very large woven manufacturer in the United States, one of the oldest ones. And they were literally throwing away their archives. Literally. Me and a couple other guys, we did some dumpster diving. And we recovered the original portrait of the founder of the company that had been painted on wood, believe it or not. Actually, it was Erastus Brigham Bigelow. He's considered to be one of the top 50 inventors in the world history. And we got his original portrait. We also found an incredible number of old archives. Actually, I had them digitized, and I have them. I have copies of them. I've got about 25,000 historic patterns.
Wow.
My oldest one dates back to the 1863 White House.
Wow, that is very cool. So you've been a longtime member of the League of Historic American Theaters like
Absolutely.
us. So you've been able to help theaters all over the country. Has there been, can you talk a little bit about what that process is? I think we've been talking to you about this for well over a year and slowly working away at it. But what are some of those different things that you help theaters look at when they're coming up with, a custom design?
Well, a lot of times it's interesting. The theaters, especially the older ones, they want to go back to a certain point in time. And they want to recreate what happened in 1927, 1929, typically when they were built. But unfortunately, a lot of the records don't exist anymore.
Yeah.
But the good news is pictures do. And when you consider the camera was actually invented in 1840, you'd be amazed at some of the old pictures that we'll find. So if I can find an old picture, and one of my favorite ones is when somebody you have a group of ushers that are standing in their uniforms on top of the first step going up to a balcony or some sort. Well, you know the width of the step because the step is still there. you also know the size of their feet. So from there, you can begin to look at the pattern they're standing on, and now you can get scale.
Yeah.
So that really helps. Color has been an interesting challenge, but what we found historically is most of the architects design their color palette in the carpet first.
Huh.
And then they translated that to the walls. Well, we can do paint analysis. Jeff Green is a wonderful company that does that. So we can come back to the original colors that are currently on the wall, and then we can reverse engineer and get the colors into the carpet itself. The other issue is with my archives. I actually have the original archives to about 600 different theaters.
Wow. I'm guessing that's probably one of the most robust archives out there for theater carpet.
Yes, and unfortunately or fortunately, a lot of people don't even know it exists.
Yeah.
But I will take older carpets. And it's amazing, too, sometimes when you go through these theaters and everybody wants to know what the original was. We found carpet in the attic that was being used to cover a vent. And lo and behold, it was original carpet.
Huh.
I found carpet underneath old file cabinets in closets. What's interesting is sometimes you find that somebody has done a build out or they've changed. In many cases, they've added a concession stand. And you break through those walls, and a lot of the restoration or trying to get the theater back to where it was, and lo and behold, you find they built it on top of the carpet.
Yeah. Yeah, so in our situation, unfortunately, we didn't have a whole lot of that. Since, you know, this was commercially owned from 1929 all the way through 1978, there was really no archives. We had some black and white photos from the 50s and 60s, which we knew was not the original carpet. So we had talked with you and said, you know, without knowing exactly what the original carpet was, it kind of gave us the freedom to come up with something that had the architect in 1929 had the resources, would have designed to go with this theater. And much like you talked about, we kind of took the color palette that's here and reverse engineered to come up with a design that included, you know, architectural elements that are here. So in terms of the carpet that's going in here, what are your thoughts on the final design and that entire process?
Well, I will tell you, and I'm a little bit prejudiced here, that the carpet that you are going to put into your lobby is one of the most spectacular patterns I have ever seen.
Wow.
I think that is going to be an absolute showcase. And I've done a lot of theaters. I've done, you know, Radio City Music Hall, Carnegie Hall. I finished the Kennedy Center last year. I've done some rather interesting projects, but this, people are going to be stunned by what your carpet looks like. It was definitely going to be a showplace. There's no doubt in my mind on that one.
We've thought that, but that's very cool to hear from you. So I appreciate hearing that. And I know we were all just beyond excited for the day the carpet shows up and start to go in. It's really going to pull everything together. And the carpet that was put in here in 1983 just, you know, was put in, you know, kind of for the financial constraints at the time, and just doesn't showcase what a typical historic theater would have. If you can talk about that real quickly, we've tried sharing with our, you know, donors and community that, you know, historic theater carpet is typically, you know, very big, bold patterns, and not, you know, kind of this monotone carpet that we currently have in here. We've always kind of said, you know, if you think about, you know, hotels and casinos and stuff, that, you know, those big ornate patterns, if you can talk a little bit about, you know, what you typically would have seen in a theater in 1929.
Well, the pattern scales are not going to be as big as you do have in a casino, because quite frankly, you've got larger areas.
True.
Most of the theaters are challenged with that. They don't have these big, huge, long ballrooms and everything. But color-wise, in 1927, the technology in manufacturing carpets allowed you to have about 5 to 6 different colors. That was pretty much the max. Today we can do more, and the actual machinery that will be making your particular carpet can actually do 14 unique colors.
Wow.
But in that time frame, you were pretty much limited to, you know, like I said, 5 or 6. But you could have very brilliant colors, very bright colors. It's amazing to me, and I kind of chuckle. You wouldn't believe how many theaters in the 30s had pink in their carpet. I don't think you could get arrested with it today, but it's very, very interesting. If anybody tells you that colors will cycle, oh yeah, they do. Matter of fact, we've actually seen an increase now in orange coming back. So that should be very fascinating.
Yeah. Can you talk a little bit about the carpet that's going in? You know, we've tried sharing with our community here that we decided not to go with kind of your typical commercial carpet that's just printed on the top. Can you talk a little bit about the product that we're actually going with, how it's made, and, you know, why we're going to get so much more life out of it?
Oh, sure, absolutely. The carpet that that is being manufactured is called an axe minister. It is a woven carpet. And just to give you some statistics, because I've obviously been in the flooring industry for many years, been involved with the Carpets and Rugs Institute on a lot of their technical committees. The average cost of carpet today, average life of carpet manufactured today in North Georgia is a tufted carpet. And tufted is really nothing but a sewing machine on steroids. But the average life of that carpet is about 7.5 years.
Wow.
The average life of woven carpet is about 21 years. Now, understand that what is considered to be a year of carpet in the commercial world is 1 million foot traffics. So you can see that a woven carpet, sadly on my end of the whole world, I will probably never see the replacement of most of the projects that I've done in the last 10 years.
Yeah.
Because they will outlive me, which is kind of a sad way of looking at it, but you know, it does happen. This carpet is also uniquely going to be manufactured in Bloomsburg, Pennsylvania. So everything that you're having made is made in the United States. Yep. Although the yarns are actually, the wool is coming from New Zealand and Australia. The dyeing of the colors will be done in North Georgia. The woven, actually weaving it, will be in Bloomsburg, Pennsylvania. Bloomsburg carpets today its heritage dates back to 1866. It wasn't known then as Bloomsburg. It was purchased by the Habib family about 50 years ago, when another company decided to diversify and to spin off their weaving operations. And the Habib family has spent a fortune in upgrading, updating this weave operation. And truly, in the United States, is the most sophisticated weaving operation in the United States, and probably in the world. Their technology is just absolutely incredible.
Well, so we know we're going to get a great product. We know it was definitely worth the investment to get a great design and something that's going to be very long lasting and hopefully be here long past any of us that are currently here for many generations to come to enjoy. The last thing, I want to kind of put you on the spot. So today, Giving DeKalb County Day is a 24-hour giving day where people are donating to nonprofits all over our county, and you know, we're one of those nonprofits participating. While we're raising money for carpet today, really it's helping make sure that this 90-year-old community jewel continues on and continues to have programming here. You've worked with so many historic theaters. Why is it important for the community to step up and donate and support historic theaters like the Egyptian Theater?
That's an interesting question. That's a very interesting question. Can I answer it from the standpoint of being a history professor as well?
Sure.
The arts are so critical to maintaining our society. It is a fundamental foundation to the American society. People interact. I will tell you, in my students today, I see them doing nothing but texting. I see iPads and iPhones, and I see them really becoming so narrowly focused on things. The arts open that up, especially in the performing arts. Now, I will tell you, as a sales manager, and I did that for quite a few years before I got my master's degree, you wanted people that could express themselves. You wanted people that had good presence in front of customers. You don't get that sitting in front of an iPad, but you do get that being involved with the arts and in talking to people, whether you're performing or whether you're an artist, or I was a musician. When you have people that are so involved in the arts, it really, I think, changes their attitudes on life. The people that I know that have been very successful in those arts have had dynamic careers. And I have to tell you about the person that I admire the most and who was the biggest influence in my life, and that was my father. My dad got a degree in drama from the University of Denver, and he was totally involved in all this drama and stuff. Plays, his entire life was like that. But what you don't know is my dad was a combat veteran of 3 wars. When he went to World War II, he later was in the occupation of Japan. He was General MacArthur's choir master.
Wow.
But because he had this presence in the arts, he was also asked to perform the Mikado for the Emperor of Japan.
Wow.
But because he had that presence, it totally changed his military career. He became the chief briefer to the President of the United States on the Vietnam War, Lyndon Baines Johnson. He was involved with the chief of staff of the Army, and you can't begin to tell you how his career just absolutely ballooned. And he says, and he's 93 years old today, he says that was because he was in the arts.
Huh.
That's because he understood how to present himself, and he had that confidence in himself. And to me, that's what the arts do. That's what theaters like yours do. That's what these historic theaters that I work on do. Then, of course, there's that economic thing. People go to the theater. Most of the times they also go out to dinner.
Yep.
Or they go someplace for drinks. And it's a huge stimulus to the economy.
Yeah. Well,
So,
I can't thank you enough. Thank you and your dad for your service. Thank you for joining me today for this interview. We are so excited to have the community support in putting in this new carpet. And I know you, along with us, are going to be thrilled to see the final results. And I think for years to come, we're just going to be so excited every time somebody steps through these doors and can see the finished product. So thank you so much for joining us today, and I'm going to send it back to Janine in the studio to finish up this hour's reports.
Well, what an awesome interview, guys. We were so excited to hear from Mark today. Like I said, bad situation, but made the best of it by able to have one of a really great instrumental part of this carpet process on our live stream to say how much he's enjoying this carpet, the whole process behind it. So thank you, Mark, for joining us today. And we are going to wrap up this hour. We are just past the $26,000 mark. We're at $26,684. And we will be back at 7 p.m. We still have 2 more special guests joining us today. So don't forget to tune in at 7, 8, and 9. And we will see you at the top of the next hour.